Hey everyone, Sweet Johnny Cage here, back with another guide for Dark Souls. We are playing Dark Souls Remastered, but these guides will work just fine for the original Dark Souls if you're playing on PS3 or 360 or whatever. Okay, so in the first part of this guide, the previous segment, we went through the Undead Asylum, which is this game's tutorial, and the next part that we're going to get through is the Undead Burg. If you've never watched these sorts of guides from me, the way it works is it's a let's play, so I'm playing as I record, and I'm talking, so all this is live. There may be some deaths, shouldn't be too many, and you may also hear some background noise. I did my best to sort of cut that out, but for the most part, it's very much unedited. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to the Undead Burg. I think what I'd like to do first is just sort of explore Firelink Shrine a bit, get some humanity off the gentleman in the well. And then we can also come over here, and there's an NPC named Petrus of Thorland. He tells us that he is waiting for his lady, who is Rhea of Thorland. You can keep talking to him, keep talking to him, keep talking to him. He gives you a copper coin, and then he also asks if we would like to join the covenant, the Way of the White. This is a faith-based covenant, so there's some miracles and stuff involved here. We can join if you're looking for trophies. Go ahead and join. Joining covenants will automatically unjoin you from other covenants. I'm not going to take this time with the Way of the White to kind of explain how covenants work, but you should join them to learn the gestures, get all the spells. If you're going for those sorts of trophies, these are important. Petrus sells several miracles. Great Heal Excerpt, Homeward, which is basically like a free Homeward Bone. Basically, it's Evacuate from Demon Souls. It's the same spell. Force, Seek Guidance. Seek Guidance is a really weird spell that increases the rate at which you see hints on the ground. So you can see some extra developer hints if you use Seek Guidance. And of course, he has Heal. He also sells a Talisman and a Thorland Talisman. You need talismans in order to cast miracles. But yeah, so I'm not going to take this time to really explain what covenants do. Instead, I'm just going to show you around Firelink Shrine. I think I'll explain covenants once we get to, like, I don't know, the forest or something. Okay, so over here, there's a sort of pool, and this becomes very significant later. There is also a chest back here that is next to a statue. There are certain items in Dark Souls that you can't beat the game without, and if for any reason you drop them or somehow lose them if the game bugs out, those items will appear in this chest. So if this chest is ever closed, open it. Chances are you missed something and the game is giving it back to you. The other thing that I want to talk about is the graveyard over here. I'm not going to get too close. But there are many items in this graveyard here, including a weapon called the Zweihander. It's a big two-handed sword. The binoculars are also over here. However, you can see some skeleton bones on the ground there, and these things animate or sort of come back together and attack you if you get near them. So I'm not going to go through here. I don't need anything in here. But if you're looking to do a strength-based build or a big, heavy build in Dark Souls, one of the best weapons in the game, the Zweihander, is in this section. But I'm not going to go there just yet. Okay, so the other thing to make note of is the crow. The crow that dropped us off here stays here. And that is your ticket back to the Undead Asylum. Unfortunately, you can't get to it right now. You do need to have access to the elevator, which we get much later on. There is a corpse here that gives us a soul of a lost undead, which is, just like in Demon Souls, you pick up some souls that are sort of like banked currency. And then back here, I don't think there is a corpse here that has firebombs. As you meet NPCs throughout the game, most of them will come back here, and they all go to very specific spots, just like in Demon Souls when they go to the Nexus. But some do come and go. And so we will talk about those as we encounter them. But with all that out of the way, let's get started going to the Undead Asylum now. So we're going to walk up this hill, and then we're going to encounter a couple of hollow knights. No pun intended. Come on, go down. All right, there you go. Then we got this guy. Give him a backstab. And then there is a bomb thrower up here, so I like to take care of him first. And he throws bombs. He's a lot of fun. Oh god, I'm about to get murked. And there's a... oh god. There's a bunch of guys up here. You gotta be careful. This axe guy especially is a little dangerous. But if you get close to the bomb thrower, he'll stop throwing bombs. But the reason I wanted to take him out first is because there's a more upgraded hollow here that is guarding some stuff. So we're going to let him charge in. Oh boy. And then I'm going to backstab, and hopefully this doesn't kick me off. It does not. Okay, so he's guarding a treasure, which is Lost Soul of an Undead. And then there is a new mechanic in Dark Souls that was not available in Demon Souls, and that is the jump mechanic. So you can run and then press the run button again to do a jump. And depending on your item burden, or your equipment burden, I should say, you will jump further. So there are several areas in the game where jumping is necessary, and this is one of them. So we're going to get a treasure over here, and eventually we're going to meet an NPC named Dumnall of Xena. And Dumnall of Xena, after you meet him in the depths, he will come to Firelink, but he will appear where this treasure is that you see over there. So you got to kind of get good at jumping. And Dumnall of Xena is the boss armor vendor. So if you want boss... If you want to wear the gear that bosses are using, you've got to visit Dumnall every time you defeat a boss, and then he can sell you the gear. The weapons still have to be crafted with boss souls, but the gear can just be purchased from Dumnall. I picked up the Ring of Sacrifice there. I want to talk about that for a minute. So the Ring of Sacrifice is not a unique ring. You'll pick up a lot of these things, and I think you might even be able to buy them. So the Ring of Sacrifice, it says that you lose nothing upon death, but the ring breaks. So what this means is, if you have a ton of souls, like you've been adventuring for several hours and you've got like 80,000 souls, and you don't want to lose them, you can equip a Ring of Sacrifice and die, and then you don't lose the souls. You don't leave... I think you still leave behind a bloodstain, but you don't lose any of the souls. So just keep that in mind. And then there's also the Rare Ring of Sacrifice, and I think that prevents curse or something like that. It's been a while since I've used one of those. Anywho, so heading back up here. Before we go into the aqueduct, we can get this other treasure here. Another soul of a lost undead. And there's a rat here, so we gotta be careful. Okay, so we can kill him. Rats have a pretty good chance of dropping humanity, but it didn't, unfortunately. As we go through the Undead Burg here, you'll hear a bell ringing, and I mentioned this in the previous guide. When you hear that bell ring, it's actually another player ringing it, so use that as a way to sort of get yourself into this world and understand that there are other people here. Okay, so this door is locked. We will not unlock that for quite a while, but just keep in mind that we will unlock it at some point. Okay, so coming up here, we are now in the Undead Burg. Oh boy. And then there's going to be a couple of hollows here, and then there's going to be another hollow over here that is throwing bombs. So you do want to be careful with this guy. Okay, and then there's one that just came out of a house here, so careful with him as well. All right. Cool. So now that that's done, we can go into this house here, and then... Actually, I don't think there's anything in here. No, there's nothing in here yet, sorry. Okay, so we're going to open up this fog wall. There are many fog walls in Dark Souls 1 that don't... Not that they don't go anywhere, but they're not, like, always guarding a boss. Anywho, so we can grab that and come up here, and you will notice that there is a broken sort of scaffolding here. We can still get here. There's like a one-frame jump trick you can do to make it from here, but we don't have to bother with that. All right, coming up here, we're going to get interrupted by a dragon. Boom. This is the Hellkite Drake. He is killable, but not yet. He's a bit of a pain to fight. Okay, so once the Hellkite Drake goes away, going to get a couple more hollows that want our attention. Yep, there he is. Okay, and then there's a couple of archers here that we do need to be careful of. So there's a crossbow hollow up there. Kill this guy, and then we can come up here and kill the crossbow archer. Okay. So there's a bonfire right here. I'm not going to activate it just yet because there's a couple of other things that I want to do. There's a door here that we can open, and then there's a treasure on this here. This is the wooden shield. The early game shields really aren't that great. They're pretty interchangeable. It's more about your play style, like what are you really looking for. So these spear hollows have excellent tracking, but you can eventually backstab them. You can also kick them, although I don't... I guess I do. So, yeah, okay, I should talk about this now. So there's a kick mechanic in Dark Souls. It was sort of in Demon Souls as well. It was more of a punch mechanic, but it depends on what kind of weapon you have equipped. So I have a curved sword here, so my moveset's a little bit different. If I press forward in R1, I do a backslash into a backflip. But if you have a straight sword or if you're unequipped, your forward in R1 breaks their shield. And so you can basically, just unequip, press forward in R1 to get a kick, re-equip your weapon, and then get sort of the stagger bonus. But that's sort of the kick mechanic. It's not available on every weapon. It's available on most, though. What we're going to do now, though, is we're going to get a really, really good weapon. And so this weapon is the Uchigatana, and there's a hidden staircase here. And this staircase leads to a vendor named the Undead Merchant. And you'll notice that I never leveled up when I got to Firelink Shrine, and that's for a very specific reason. So the Undead Merchant sells a bunch of great things. He sells repair powder, throwing knives, fire bombs, Lloyd's Talisman, a dried finger, and then he also sells the orange guidance soapstone. But he also sells, some armor. He sells some ammo. He sells a key to the residence. He sells the repair box, the bottomless box. I don't recommend buying anything from this dude. Everything that he sells can be purchased from somebody else, with the exception of the residence key, the orange guidance soapstone, and I think that's it. But if we kill him, we can get his weapon. And if you are coming here from Demon Souls, keep in mind that there is no world tendency or character tendency. So killing a character, or killing an NPC, or killing another player does not affect your tendency at all. So not that there's no penalty to killing anybody, the penalty is that you won't be able to buy anything from them or interact with them or progress their storyline, but there's many NPCs that don't have storylines that you're just sort of free to kill. This is one of them. Keep in mind, however, he has the weapon we want, and he's going to use it on us. Luckily, he doesn't have a lot of health, though. Okay, so let's just break these boxes, mess this whole shop up.
You've gone mad, have you?
And then we can fight him, hit him with a quick backstab. I think Yulia is either an invisible cat that was, for some reason, cut from the game, or he names the sword Yulia. In any event, killing him, he drops all the good stuff. So he drops his residence key, the dried finger, humanity, and orange guidance soapstone. And then we can also pillage the body for the Uchigatana. I don't think we're able to use the Uchigatana just yet. No, you need 14 strength and 14 dex. I only have 10 strength, so I got to level up my my strength in a little bit. But before we go to that bonfire, I want to now progress through this other little underbelly of the Undead Burg. I totally forgot this hollow was here. And this section's a little bit of a booby trap, so you got to be kind of careful. There will be hollows that just sort of show up. So we got to use some caution here. Yeah, you can sort of... I think this is where it is. Oof. Okay, maybe not. So there's a section in the Undead Burg where hollows just kind of come up from the walls. Okay, so we're going to climb this ladder now, and then we're on this rooftop. And this is where that broken scaffolding was. So there's 10 throwing knives. This is where we came out. This is where the Hellkite Drake was. And then we now have this scaffolding that we need to jump to. So go ahead and charge up, jump, roll into the doorway, and you're good to go. Okay, so we can come up here. Oh, wow, that's a high-rated comment. There's a treasure over here. This is what I was looking for. Alright, so we got ourselves a light crossbow and some standard bolts. But we're not done yet. Oh, actually, yes, we are. We are done. Okay, so that's it for now. That's it for this section. So why don't we go ahead and go to the bonfire now. And bonfires are a bit different than archstones in the sense that they're sort of scattered around, and they don't signify that there's like a boss nearby or anything like that. It's usually quite the contrary. There's very rarely a bonfire near a boss. That didn't start until like Dark Souls 2. So we can light this bonfire. Lighting it does not reset anything. However, resting at it does. So just keep in mind that when we rest, our enemies will come back. You can also see a ladder up there. We're going to drop that probably in the next section of the guide. I think I'm going to stop as one of the next boss, but for now we can level up. We also get the Covenant menu. I think this was added in the remaster. Sort of allows you to change Covenant to bonfires, sort of reduce the runaround. But anyway, we're going to level up. I'm going to level up my strength to 14. This will now allow us to wield the Uchigatana, which is just a great weapon. So it has 90 physical, but it also has 300 bleed. This is the auxiliary effect down here. Whoops. Okay, I guess you can't get it to explain everything. Can I get it? Uchigatana. No, you can't. Anyway, we're going to equip the Uchigatana. It's a great weapon. And it has bleed, which is an awesome, awesome mechanic where if you stack bleed on an enemy, once the meter fills all the way up, the enemy takes incredible amounts of bonus damage. And this is something that even works on bosses. So it's a great mechanic. Bleed weapons are incredibly strong in this game. You do have to keep in mind that most bleed weapons are dexterity weapons, meaning that you need to have a high dexterity rating, or they scale with dexterity. So you kind of have to keep pumping points into dexterity in order to use them. Okay, so we have several firebomb throwers here. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the fire to go away. Then we're going to run across this bridge. But there are many enemies in this room that we need to be aware of. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, yep, that's the one I was waiting on. I couldn't remember where he was. Anywho, it's not a big deal. We died, but the bonfire is literally right next door. And we get these great PS5 load times. I mean, come on. All right, here we go. Try that again. So we're going to run across the bridge and then just try to kill those enemies. All right. Oh, wow, this guy came. I was not expecting him. All right, so now that we have the Uchigatana, we can successfully kick with a dex weapon. So that's very helpful. All right, so now that we've done that, we can come in here, and there's a little Dregling here. Oh, boy. Kill him. And then there's another enemy right here that you got to be careful of. Okay. And then, if you hear scratching, it's actually my dog, like, whiling out on the couch behind me. I don't know why he does that. Okay, so there are mimic chests in Dark Souls. They are chests that can eat you. However, you don't run into your first one until Sen's Fortress, but I will give you the tip now. The way to tell a mimic from a regular chest is the chain. If it is curled, it's a regular chest. If the chain is straight, it's a mimic. The other way to tell is to just wait, is to just stand near the chest for a little while, and eventually it'll start breathing. That's a mimic. So, just keep that in mind. All right, in here we have black fire bombs. With that out of the way, we can continue through the Undead Burg. And then there's a bunch of enemies right here waiting for us. There's also a crossbow archer up there that we gotta be careful about. But if we funnel the enemies in, we can just take care of them. Come up here. Now we can get our revenge on the firebomb throwers. Just be quick about it. That's why. They still throw them at you. Oof. Took them to the face. Alright, cool. So we get a Soul of a Lost Undead up here. And then we can now drop back down. And we can open this door. Now that we have the residence key. And then I believe in here is a chest with gold pine resin. I think that's it. Yes, okay, so gold pine resin applies the lightning buff to our weapon. Lightning is really strong, especially against dragons. But we don't need to use it just yet. So the crossbow archer up here, take care of him. I'm really loving how many white phantoms I'm seeing. I love that people are still playing this game. I really do. Okay, so coming down here, there's a sword hollow here. So let him do his thing. Oof, man, I was really hoping to get a backstab. Yikes. Alright, so enemies can heal in this game. Not every enemy can, but you just saw him take a swig of Estus. They don't care. Alright, kill him. And then we can kick this dude. Oops. That was not a kick. We can... Oh my god, we can kick this dude. There you go. And then we can hit him with that. Okay. Alright. So the way they were supposed to go is this way, up this staircase. However, there's another thing we can do. And that is to come down here, and there is a black knight here. Knights in this game are scattered throughout the world, and they are very, very strong, especially in the early game. This guy, I won't say he can one-shot us, but he can do some serious damage. That said, he is guarding a ring that we want. So what you can do is you can sneak up behind him and get a free backstab, just like that. And then you can try to just chip away his health. Oh my good god. I was not expecting to be that fast. But you can parry these guys. So that's something you want to work on. Here's your parry. You always want to watch their hand. Oh god, my shield is so slow. You always want to watch their hand. Once the hand is coming at you, that's when you want to press L2 to parry. Alright. I'm actually going to kind of get out of here a little bit. There we go. There's another one. Probably one or two more parries will take him down. I will say, if you're coming from Demon's Souls Remake, the parrying in that game is so pretty. This game, it's not janky, but the tells are not as clear, and you kind of just got to get used to it. All right, so taking him down, he drops a Titanite chunk. The Black Knights in this game, they are kill once enemies, so that Black Knight will never come back until New Game Plus. And the Black Knights always have a chance of dropping their weapon. One of the strongest weapons in the game is the Black Knight Halberd, which can be obtained very early on in the game, especially if you have the Master Key, and it drops from a very specific knight. Anywho, so that guy just dropped the Red Tearstone Ring, which boosts defense while HP is low, and it's a really good early game ring to get. There's a reason why it's guarded. So with the Black Knight out of the way, there is a flaming barrel up here that this hollow's going to light and send after us, but we can just wait. You can roll through it. I'm just not good at it. But you want to wait for this guy to come down here. 1, 2. He's dead. Okay. And then another reason the Master Key is such a dangerous item to get as your starting gift is because this door is locked, but if you have the Master Key, you can open it. And this door guards, or is imprisoning, an NPC named Havel the Rock. And Havel the Rock, we call him Havel the Rock Johnson. He has one of the best weapons in the game and some of the best armor in the game, especially if you're going for a heavy build. So if you're going for a heavy build, go kill Havel and get his armor. He can one-shot you, though, so you gotta be careful. And we're gonna head up these stairs, and then we're gonna find our first crystal lizard, I think, somewhere around here. Yeah, I think it's in here. Maybe not. Maybe it's after the boss. Okay, anyway. So this boss is the Taurus demon. And this boss is one of the only bosses that can be killed using a plunging attack. And we're not going to do it too many times. At least I don't think we're going to. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to enter the arena, and then we're going to immediately turn around and go up a ladder to kill some archers. And we're going to get rid of them. And then we're going to summon the boss. So here we go. So I go through the fog wall, turn around, go up this ladder. And then there's an archer up here that we want to take care of. Those two, actually. Oh, God. How dare you? Okay. Cool. So once we get about halfway down the bridge, the boss is going to jump over that other turret up there. So let's go get him. Okay. And then what we're going to do is once he jumps, we're going to run to the ladder. So here he comes. Boom. All right. Cue the music. It's always like a hard needle drop on this song. So we're going to come up, and then we don't want to wait too long once he gets to us, because he can jump up here. So just turn around, jump, do a plunging attack, hit him. Hopefully we don't get caught in this little alcove here. He has a pretty similar move set to the Taurus, to the Asylum Demon. Please don't kill me. Get a double pump here. Okay, so hopefully you're gonna be able to see the bleed damage that we can inflict on this boss. Yep, there it is. There's the bonus damage. So it's really, really strong bonus damage. You can also bait this boss into committing suicide by jumping off the edge. I'm not good at it. It's pretty hard to do. I don't recommend like gunning for it or anything, but it's possible. Oh my god. Come on, dude. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Oh my god, come on. That might have been a mistake to drink. Anywho, a couple more hits, he'll go down. There he is. That's the Taurus demon. All right, so that's a pretty good place to cut here. Actually, I won't cut right there. I'm going to show you the shortcut back to the bonfire. So one of the really, really unbelievable things about Dark Souls 1 is how well the world is built. So now that we've killed the Taurus demon, you can look down and see where we came from. That's the Undead Burg. And you can see that little doorway. It's now on the right side of the screen in the top right. You see that little doorway. That's where the bonfire is. And you can see this bridge. It has some hollows on it. And there is... Remember how there was a ladder that was pulled up? We're going to drop that ladder. And you can literally see it from here. It's so good. The other thing that we can see is that little porch there. And there's going to be a very special NPC there. Okay. So, there's also... I think there's a corpse here. Yes, there's a corpse here. Our soul of the lost undead. I'm almost positive that there's a crystal lizard here somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, so here's... I call this the sunlight porch. But there's an NPC here named Solaire of Astora. He's everybody's favorite. And speaking to Solaire of Astora, he asks if you would ever want to engage in jolly cooperation. You tell him yes, he will give you the white sign soapstone, which allows you to put your sign down for other players. So if you put your sign down, another player can summon you into their world. It works exactly like the blue eye stone, I think it is, in Demon Souls. So that's Solaire. He will appear in various places. That is his first interaction. Oh, one thing I should mention about Solaire. He has a storyline involving a helm called the Sunlight Maggot. And he is on a quest to find his own son. And he will eventually go to a place called Lost Izalith and the Demon Ruins in search of this. And if he finds it before you, he will wear it and go mad. And then you unfortunately have to kill him. But Solaire only moves if you speak with him in each location and exhaust his dialogue. So the next place Solaire will appear is in Anor Londo. And you can just never speak to him again, and he will always stay in Anor Londo, and he will never reach the Sunlight Maggot before you. There's another way to do it, which I will cover once we get there. But just keep in mind that NPCs only move after you speak to them, with very little exception. Okay. So now that we've spoken to Solaire and gotten our white sign soapstone, we're going to go to this bridge, which is aptly named the Hellkite Bridge. And so stepping onto this bridge, very familiar sight. You can see some burn marks on the bridge itself. And here comes the Hellkite Drake. So this is very similar to the Dragon Bridge in Demon Souls. And so what we need to do is we need to duck into an alcove over here and get to the ladder for the bonfire. So we should be able to reach it without any issue. I don't think the Drake breathes fire until we sort of get much closer. So we're going to come down here, and then we're going to go over here, and now we can drop the ladder. Be sure to drop the ladder, because if you just fall, you've got to go all the way back. And now we can climb down here, go down the ladder, and then rest at the bonfire. Now, one thing that I want to mention here is that this is one of the best early game soul farming spots in the entire game. And the reason for that is because all you have to do is go up this ladder, go up this staircase, and then go up this staircase, and you'll see that all of the hollows have respawned on this bridge. So all you got to do is walk over, let the Hellkite Drake breathe, and then you get 555 souls. So if you're just trying to level up some stats, it's a really, really great way to do it. Just rest at the bonfire, touch the bridge, go back, and you'll get 555 souls. So we're going to level up now. We should put some points into Vitality and Endurance, and then I'll also level up Dex for our weapon. We're going to end it here, level 14. We've killed the Taurus demon. Our next stop is the first Bell of Awakening, which is the Gargoyles. So that'll be the next part of the guide, but I'll end it here. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Dark Souls, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Twitch, and as always, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.